很容易平静而快乐。就让我举一个例子来讲啊，从这个去年发生全球的金融危机以来啊，其实这个问题是应该没有科学家认真做研究，可是我就会这样想，那些每天只想着赚钱的人，由于经济的危机、金融的危机，一定会让他变得很担心、很不快乐。可是我们西藏人说，这个钱是很重要的，钱是快乐的来源。我们有这样的愿意，就是钱可以实现欲望实现个人的欲望那么钱当然也可以帮你交到朋友，但是是不是真心的朋友，我就不知道了。可是呢，如果你只那么在乎钱的话，那其实你所有的时间都会投入在赚钱上，你就根本没有时间再去修行了。那你也不会这个关心别人，所以你的心情呢，会因为经济的危机、金融的危机，如果你赔了很多钱，你心情就会变得很不好，甚至有自杀的危险。但是相较之下，如果是一个心胸比较开阔的人，他对于金钱不那么在乎的话，那他虽然赔了钱，比如投资股票赔了钱，可是呢，他可以在他的家庭生活里面，跟社区里面跟很多人由于处得很好，他心情一样可以很愉快啊。虽然他也拥有的钱不多，所以从这个例子里面，我们就可以看到，金钱跟物质所能够提供给我们的快乐，其实是非常的有限的。真正能给我们的快乐的，是我们平静的心情，是我们开阔的心胸，是我们别人的关怀那么我又想到了，因为我刚才在讲那个Ockman 的研究他们呢的研究计划里面其实有在做一个实验，也就是说，他们去这个透过这个脸部的表情的一些测量，可以知道他们的个人的这个压力的状况。那他们就做了一个实验，如果这个让人们每个礼拜做3次左右的这个修慈悲的禅修，一次大概是半小时或1小时，看看他会有什么改变没有所以他们就是在这些人呢在还没有修慈悲观之前，去测量这个人的压力，从他脸部表情测量他的这个压力的指数。那么在经过几个礼拜的这一个修慈悲的这样子的一个禅修之后，再去测量他们，发现他们的血压下降了，压力下降了那心情呢相对来讲也变得比以前都要快乐，都要平静。
I think another sort of occasion, I just I worthwhile to mention. Another occasion, I think in San Francisco, let's say one sort of seminar about the crimes among the youth. So there are some, as a psychotherapist, and also some social workers, and some doctors, some scientists also. I think 3 days, some seminar. I also participated. So then, finally, some kind of unanimous sort of view is that in the society, and particularly in the family, a lack of affection, a lack of compassion. So therefore, the people, young youth, who bringing up in the atmosphere of lack of affection, lack of care, That is the source of the rising crimes among the youth. So it is quite a serious matter, isn't it? And then also, everybody, I think, many parts of the world, I think many, many people completely fed up about violence. So the desire for peace really, genuinely now growing in many parts of the world. So then, peace through prayer, maybe some effect, but not much effect. Then sometimes you see those usually the people, those of the countries which usually you say peace-loving nation. Often you see releasing pigeon or duck, because the ducks are deaf, or pigeon. I don't think any help, except some disturbance of these pigeons. Otherwise, no meaning, isn't it? So peace. Actually, one time, I think 79, then the former Soviet Union still there. So I had the opportunity to visit Mongolia through Moscow, through Soviet Union. And then in Moscow, I met some Soviet reporters, Soviet sort of media people. Some of them is trying to put the word peace-loving nation, try to put in my mouth. I refuse that. That's not true. Hypocrisy. Isn't it? I know already the mentality of the Western nations, Western Europe's. Because I visited the 73, I already have the opportunity to visit many Western European countries. So they are, instead of attack on Soviet Union, but they fear from some problem, from Warsaw Pact sort of nations, like that. So it is not true. Soviet Union, not genuine peace-loving nation. So I refuse that word. I just politely avoid using that word. So then eventually that reporter lost anger. So like that. So you see the peace with preparation for war. Sometimes people call the military preparation for peace. That is not a genuine sort of method for peace. Genuine peace related with the inner peace. With inner peace, then real world peace can achieve, can sustain. Because peace does not mean no longer any problem, no longer any conflict. Conflict, so long human beings there, conflict bound to happen. Economy reasons, political reasons, ideology reasons, religious faith reasons, some problems always remain there. So then we need practical solution to solve this conflict. That means dialogue. Dialogue means respect others' right, respect others' view. That only comes if you have genuine sense of concern of all and well-being of entire 6 billion human beings. The others also consider part of we. Now today's, I think, world, today's reality, the word we and they, these two words, I don't think are relevant to today's world. Today's world need entire world part of we. Just we, our world, our 6 billion human beings. So any problem within that something like domestic problem. So one time, one German scientist expressed the government no need foreign ministry and defense ministry. We must treat our neighbor as just our neighbor and consider part of we, so domestic. No need foreign policy. Consider others foreign. And then with that, defense. That no longer relevant in today's world. I think that's very, very true. I think very true. So, so with that sort of attitude, then dialogue.